time to revisit the 12 powers. Who is aware of the 12 spiritual powers that Charles Fillmore wrote about years ago? Raise your hand. We got some people who are aware of that, some who are not. And it's time to bring them back. You know, I forgot to bring, in my office, I have a Fisher-Price toolbox. And in my counseling, I use that because as kids, we learn to use not spiritual tools, but tools, life tools that we've learned as kids to protect ourselves, because sometimes the world is very scary out there, right? And we need to keep ourselves safe. Sometimes our well-meaning parents, teachers, religious leaders can and have done a lot of damage, and so we pick up these Fisher-Price tools to try and keep us safe. Well, when I came here, I found out that there is this Craftsman toolbox. Anybody know about Craftsman tools? What about those Craftsman tools? When they break, what? They replace them, because they're pretty unbreakable, right? So today, I'm just going to start to open the 12 powers toolbox that you were basically ordained with when you were born. 12 spiritual powers that can get you through anything. I've been studying this for 30 plus years, 35 plus years now, and revisiting this again has reminded me how important these are, and that I don't even think about it now. It's almost, most of the time, it's automatic without me even identifying it. And I'm like, this is so important to get to you. So we're going to start. These 12 powers, I'm going to just say, these are fundamental to us. And Charles Fillmore, as he was studying Eastern religions, he really went on a committed spiritual search. And it led him to Eastern spirituality. And he took that and integrated it with his upbringing of Christianity. And he created the 12-power system more than 100 years ago. And it's based on the reality of the divine spark within all people. And Fillmore went as far as to even identify a color with each power, and 12 powers. He identified an apostle to go to eat with every single power. Now, I'm not going to get into the colors and the apostles because this can be rather lengthy, but I'm going to hit on the basics today of the first 4 spiritual powers. Now, I think I have a handout. You got them? Or yes, please. If you would like, this is a diagram of the 12 powers, and it's on your screen here because it's not easy to read up there, and I thought I had a picture of it myself. Yes. So these powers are like, anybody familiar with the chakras, right? You're familiar with those. How many chakras are there? 7. Well, Charles Fillmore went a little bit further and created 12 power centers. So these are locations in the body that he identified by merging Eastern religions that he studied and Christianity and merging them together to create this. So the 12 powers provide a system for soul growth. This is not just a great book. This is a study of you and how you can get through any, and I mean any, circumstance in your life is by drawing from any of these 12 powers. And as we move through these over the next 3 weeks, you're going to much more become comfortable with the location. Because sometimes when we're out of sync, it shows up in these body centers that he identifies. You can already start to see just from the diagram, can't you? Yep, I remember the first time I looked at this, and I was like, oh, my lower back, right? And I'm like, oh, strength. And then I started reading about that. So we're going to hit in that. But before we move into this, I want to share with you a movie that I don't know if any of you have seen it. It's called All Saints. And there's one person in here. I know I touched on it several weeks ago and mentioned it. All Saints. And it is, I believe, on Amazon Prime. It is based on a true story. And it is a true story about a salesman turned pastor. And his name is Michael Spurlock. And he has now been assigned to a tiny Episcopal Anglican church in Smyrna, Tennessee. And he's assigned there to shut the church down. They are not producing, the numbers are dwindling. He's been sent there to basically shut the church down. You'll see in the story that he has a change of heart because he is, of course, wanting to do what he's been assigned to do because he wants to work his way up the ladder, to get the big church, right? But he has a change of heart. And in that change of heart, he starts to meet refugees that have moved into the area. And they are looking for a church. And so they start to show up in the church. This ought to be present day, people, right? And the congregation does not like it. They don't look like them. They don't speak like them. They don't speak the language. What are they doing here? I don't want to give the movie away. I really don't. But I'm just telling you, as I started thinking about these 12 powers, I was like, every single one of those powers, those spiritual powers, shows up in this movie. And today we're going to visit the first power of faith. And faith is located where on your chart, if you've got one in front of you? Where's faith located? Right in the middle. Right in the middle, center part of your head, where in between your eyes and your ears, back here. Okay? My faith assures me that in every event of my life, every event has meaning and brings gifts. So let's see. These are Unity Worldwide produced 1-minute videos on these powers. And this is the power of faith.
When events around me seem overwhelming, when worry and doubt darken the landscape of my mind, I call forth faith. Faith expands my awareness to recognize the presence of Spirit in every person, place, and circumstance. It reminds me to trust in my abilities and believe in myself, knowing I am ever supported by the divine. Faith uplifts my thoughts and words to create a brighter picture. It opens me to divine guidance, intuitive knowing, and spiritual nudges. Faith reassures me that from a divine perspective, all is truly well.
Almost every single Sunday, you will hear in the opening prayer, close your eyes, look out the window, or look at this. What? Does anybody know what that is? Oh, thank you. And what does that represent? Faith. Faith, because remember when he got out and walked on the water, he encouraged who? Peter to come out and join him, right? Ye of little faith, right? So this is the power of faith that we're talking about. Of all the faculties that Jesus spoke about, more frequently was the power of faith. Have faith, believe, trust. Over and over, he emphasized these. He said, faith must grow. It must be encouraged. It must be invited and then made welcome. Faith is the quality in us which enables us to look past appearances of lack, limitations, difficulties, to hold on to the divine idea and believe in it. Believe in it. I'm walking away from my notes because I want you to really get this power of faith. Because when things get bad, and they sometimes will, what do we do? Draw on your faith, right? I'm looking at so many of you currently going through some major issues, major upsets in families, in health, etc. And ye of little faith, right? Draw from that power of faith in you. Don't have faith in those circumstances. Remember, circumstances are they stand around us. That's why they're called circumstances. But they don't have any power over you if you can stand in your faith. You know this to be true. Many of you know this to be true, of how I want you to acknowledge how you got through, how you're getting through right now at this moment, whatever it is. In developing the quality of faith, we must, as Peter did, be receptive to truth. Be receptive to truth. There is so much I could go on with in here, and I'm going to tell you about what caused me to bring this about. Unity produced a little toolbox. I call it a toolbox. They don't call it that. They call it a 12-power self-guided spiritual retreat. This is amazing. In here, you have all your 12 powers listed, and then you have little booklets that go with every single power. And you are encouraged. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to encourage you over these next 3 weeks. We need to get some more of these kits in because I think we only have 2. But they are available at unity.org, and we can get some more in as well and hopefully get a little bit cheaper price for you. It also comes with a journal. And they encourage you and give you the information you need to just sit for 10 minutes. 10 minutes and meditate on faith. So here's your little booklet of faith. Oh, not a lot of reading. Kathy likes that, right? I don't have a lot of time, right? So this is simple. And then it gives you an activity, an affirmation to hold on to practice, because it needs to be practiced. Our faith is wavering. You're human. You're on this earth plane, and there's a whole lot of stuff out there that wants to pull us away from our faith. Our faith in God, our faith in God in me, my faith in myself and my capabilities. In my 12 powers, I forget that I have these. They're innate. You were born with them. I'm here to remind you of that over these next 3 weeks. So they come with this, and it's a beautiful practice to remind yourself, to not just hear me over the next 3 weeks talking about these powers, practicing them to get them grounded in you. So it says faith, the affirmation, one of them is, I let faith, not fear, guide me. Isn't that a good one to remember? Faith, the ability to believe even when I cannot see results yet. Even when that apartment, that house hasn't shown up yet. Even when the baby's not born yet. See it. See it. Have faith. Have faith and know that it is on its way. What do we call that? That faith in divine order. It's on its way. And you do this for others as well, because I see you, many of you have children and grandchildren that you're concerned about. Faith, the ability to believe even when I cannot see results yet. How many people still have trouble sleeping because they're worrying? Right. We're human. We're human. And this is to help you to peace. My peace I give you. My peace is with you. I got to get moving here. Strength. Strength is the next one. We got a quick 1-minute video on this one.
There is strength in me. My mind is strong. It is positive. It is calm. There is strength in me. My body is vigorous, powerful. There is strength of purpose in me. Strength of faith. Strength that helps me stand firm. My God-given strength enables me to be my best self. Strength in me establishes right values. It keeps me reaching for higher goals. Strength makes it possible for me to be gentle with others. God-given strength is in all people. I look for it and call it forth with faith.
This is a biggie. Where is strength located? What part of the back? Anybody here besides me have lower back issues? Yes. Carrying the weight of the world, right? We take on other strengths. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I am going to go with this because it makes sense to me on that daily word. And it also makes sense from a week ago when I talked about the power of the yoke, right? We carry the weight of the world because I don't know. I'll go back in the I statement. I felt that I needed to carry everybody's problems. I needed to be there for everybody. I needed to give everybody my time. Togetherness is so powerful. It is strength in numbers, as we said in the meditation. Strength. I don't have to carry it all by myself. There are so many people to help me carry this. God-given strength in all people. Because if I feel like I have to give to you, am I empowering you or am I disempowering you? I am. I'm disempowering others by feeling like, oh, they need me. No. We've got to see the spiritual power of strength in others as well. You know, the affirmation out of this booklet, again, comes, I grow stronger with every experience of life. I am bolstered by my inner strength. You were born with the spiritual power of strength, but I think we abuse it. I'm only talking my story. I know I abused it. I abused it. Which part? the affirmation, I can do that. Because I was running on, woo. I grow stronger with every experience of life. I am bolstered by my inner strength. So keep remembering this. It's not about this kind of strength, right? No, it's about this kind of strength. The strongest people I know are calm. They're not the tornado in the storm. They're the calm. So that's inner strength. Strength, the ability to endure, stay the course, and what? Persevere. Still keep moving. Let's go to the next one, wisdom. Wisdom, oh, yes. Wisdom is also called spiritual judgment. It simply shines a light from within that illumines the way and reveals whatever needs to be shown at a particular time. Oh, gosh, look at that. Words I choose. Can you read it okay? Centered in spirit, my decisions are made with direction and confidence. I am clearly and purposefully guided to that which is mine to do. I can handle any circumstance by tapping into the wisdom within me and all around me. Does anybody remember the movie The Shack? And I think I mentioned this a week or two ago. The scene called Wisdom. If you don't remember it, there is a YouTube video. You can choose either the 6-minute or the 12-minute, where Mackenzie, the father of the little girl who was murdered, goes into the cave and he meets wisdom. Wisdom is the spiritual power of right judgment. In that scene in the shack, you will notice that wisdom puts Mackenzie up on the chair, and he thinks he's going to be judged for all of his behaviors and the way he's pretty much cussed out God and blamed God for what's happened to his daughter. And she said, "Oh no, you're the judge." If you can really catch yourself on how much in the course of a day that you become the judge. Years ago, when I first introduced 12 Powers to you all, I came out of that door in a judge's uniform, a costume, and did the Flip Wilson thing. Here come the judge. Here come the judge, right? Because Kathy's always got the judge coming. Here come the judge, yep. Just put me into the news app, and here come the judge. Here come the judge. And that's what in All Saints, that church, every one of those people were judging these immigrants. It started with 4, and then the next time it was 15. This is an amazing movie, and then when you find out it's based, stay till the end of the movie, through the end of the movie, because it will show you the real life pictures of the people at All Saints. Anyway, this to me is big, because when you are in spiritual judgment, you are drawing from your inner wisdom, not the judgy wisdom, not the I'm so smart, I've got it. If they could only see it my way, then they'd be happy. It's definitely ego-driven, the physical realm of wisdom. But spiritual wisdom is right judgment, using discernment. Using discernment. We do need spiritual judgment. We do need judgment to keep us safe, right? And things like that. But I'm talking about this one here. It's the blend of knowledge from the head and the heart. So that's why you see me all the time doing this. That's what I'm talking about to myself, is to remind myself, I need my heart, I need my head, and I need my gut. So it's all three will bring you closer and closer to wisdom. Oh, yeah, there was something I wanted to tell you about here. And I think it had to do with wisdom and strength and the need to our police officer today out there. Her name is Renata, and she has been dealing with a son who has gotten so far in college and then quit. And it's broken her heart. And she and I have talked over the last year and helping her to hold spiritual judgment. Because I can remember I judged my daughter when she did the same thing on year 3, but it was actually year 7 for her. Yeah, took her 7, that she came home and said, I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. And here come the judge. Here come the judge, right? But I can tell you for a fact that when she let go of trying to control her son's decision, didn't mean she didn't still give her thoughts and give her opinion, but it wasn't that making him wrong. It was about, this is what I would do if it were me, but I honor whatever you're going to do. And she came in purposely to find me in my office this morning to say, my son's enrolled in his last year in college. He did it all by himself. I didn't even know about it. He called and said, Mom, I'm already enrolled at Miami University. There she goes. She's all about crying, telling me. And I didn't do it. I didn't have to do it. I said, but you did do it. You did do it because you held on to faith and you held on to strength and you used your spiritual wisdom. And we'll move into what else she used. The next power, love. She loved him no matter what. Let's show that video.
Loved one, beloved one, you who are made of gold, behold, beautiful soul, this gift of everlasting love. May we rejoice in a dance of reverence for how good you are to us, love, our sacred healer, our best friend, our source of life. May we rest in your warmth, laugh within your rays, stay for days in this sacred space. May we fall in love, may we be love, discover the majestic power of self-love. May we remember we are designed exclusively to shine, loved one, beloved one, you who are made of gold, behold, beautiful soul, El Sol, the sun, radiating within you. Let us adjust our crowns, kings and queens, rise from the ground, speak out loud to the universe, I am love, I am loved, I receive love, love flows abundantly, love is surrounding me, love is healing me, love is me.
Before we go to that next slide, I want to just remind you, where was wisdom in your diagram? Oh, you need to remember that. Pit of the stomach. Anybody have irritable bowel? Anybody have stomach problems? Anybody have these kind of pains in this area? You might want to look at here come the judge. Here come the judge. And see what it is that you're judging in life. Because it can manifest itself right here. So just something to consider. Love, we all probably know where that is. In your heart, right? And I know we got quickly close this up. Love is the harmony and unity of all things. Now, there's something big here. I'm going to cut to the chase here because I think this is important. Love without wisdom has a tendency to be blind, easily misled. Yeah, we can do that in relationships, dating, marriages. We can do that with workers. We can do that with our kids. foolish in its actions. Wisdom without love may be harsh and cold, unfeeling. Linked in the mind of God, working from pure knowing and the ultimate oneness, love and wisdom working together produce perfect ideas in mind and manifestation. Love looks past the appearances to behold the truth of being. I am going to close out here because I know it's time. I'm going to use that movie again, but I'm also going to ask you to consider in your own life, just like the movie All Saints, and that is, what are you doing in your own life to shore up your faith? Because as I watched this movie, this pastor did not have faith to begin with. But I'll tell you who had faith in the beginning were those immigrants that were coming into the church. They had faith, and that bolstered his faith. And then so on and so on and so on. The strength that it took to do what this little parish that was dwindling to nothing, and what happened took spiritual strength and perseverance to keep working the spiritual muscle so that they could keep moving whatever direction was in store for them. Then we have wisdom, right judgment, because truly this little congregation was, here come the judge, here come the judge, right? Which then got this pastor judging, who again wasn't judging. The migrant workers, the immigrants that were coming to the church, all they wanted was a church home. And they didn't even speak the language. But you watch how that all morphed. So you think about in your own life, where are you on spiritual judgment, where you see beyond appearances to the truth of who every single person in our human family is no different than you and I. Remember the video last week? Same, different, right? And love one another as I have loved you. Is that not one of the greatest commandments? That's all I've got to say. We'll continue on these 12 powers because I'm telling you, you will want to know that you have this 12 powers craftsman toolbox with you all the time. Namaste. The Christ presence, which involves all 12 spiritual powers in me, truly see and honor that Christ, those 12 spiritual powers in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.